I wake up in the morning, telegram in hand, on to our community, the coolest in the land. Cheese cream drops a joke, got me laughing loud. Then I start to scroll down through the daily crowd. Who's the OG Prince, lighting up the zone? Is it Dama Beast or Sav on the throne? Or maybe it's Friday, Flexmas is here. Time to throw some gains and flex without fear. I toss out some questions, looking for the signs. Inside fix is ready, dropping out for lines. I keep on reading, can't look away. Those spicy emojis make my whole day. Then someone yells exit, get off PulseChain. But I ride the waves through pleasure and pain. I live in a limbo of hope and despair, but we're all in this boat and I'm proud to be there. Yeah, I might end up wrecked, burned by the flame, but I'm with the best crew in this wild DeFi game. I might end up wrecked, burned by the flame, but I'm with the best crew in this wild DeFi game.
Yeah, dog. Welcome to R2R live stream number gajillion and a half. Who knows what number it is? But welcome. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to show your support, right? The one way you can support the channel is by pounding the like button. Subscribe. Post notifications, you know the drill. All right. Triple streaming. Follow me on X. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Kick. YouTube, all the good places. We're streaming 3 different areas. And always remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I am for damn sure not a professional. This is for pure entertainment purposes only. Don't ever allow an influencer on any social media platform out there to influence you when it comes to cryptocurrency, because you could get wrecked. All right. Tonight, we're going to cover a topic about the 400,000 PulseChain etch to sketch devices. There's so many different names you hear out there of what they're referred to. Ivan on Tech. It was the funniest thing watching him. I'm going to give you my honest opinion, because obviously 400,000 units going out to people, you know, hitting mailboxes across the states or wherever they're sending. Maybe they're in the States. Maybe they're everywhere. Maybe they're going worldwide. We're going to discuss that because marketing is a very interesting topic, right? They got a lot of experience in, all right? Sales and marketing has been my expertise for many, many years. Before we do that, don't forget to visit DexFi.com/spawns, the official sponsor of the R2R live stream video content. They have paid over on Vchain, right? During all the ups and downs of the market, through all of that, when I first started talking about DexFi and minting their bonds over on Base, they have paid out in USDC stable token $326,804 in USDC to their bond holders that hold the NFTs. The value of ETH that has gone in is worth over $2.1 million, almost $2.2 million. That's 10,757 bonds have been minted total. APR 81.65%. So what do you get when you mint your bonds with that NFT on Base? You get the treasury bonds, passive exposure to the strategies that they use themselves. They're expert entry, expert exit timing, precision managed liquidity and range setting all done for you. Make sure you visit DexFi.com/bonds. It's just been steady passive income. And they have been bringing utility to meme tokens on PulseChain, Banker Monkey being one of them. So really nice to see meme tokens, especially on Pulse, utilize DexFi and the bonds to bring real yield. All right, that real yield. Let's take a look at what's going on in the chat. Better not be a gimmick. Once the marketing starts, RH can pump things and just say that marketing is working. I've been waiting years for this. Better not be a gimmick, right? What's good, Rect? All this stuff is weird. What's the move you're making on Richard Hart's ecosystem? Well, we'll get into that. Cheers, everyone. What's up, Duco Booze? Cyfex in the house. What's popping? What's popping? Welcome. Been a while since I've seen you, brother. Bullish. If we convert 1% of 400K, we're in business, buddy. So yeah, about this. I've been, sales for a long time, cold calling, warm leads, hot leads, door knocking, a majority over the phone, and I've done marketing for different businesses that you can everything you can possibly imagine. Okay. And I always thought cryptocurrency was interesting when it comes to marketing because it's tough. It's really tough to nail marketing down that's really going to sit well with the people that you're trying to target, right? Every business has a target audience that they want, right? If you got people that like cheeseburgers and you're marketing them a cheeseburger and fries, you're marketing the right person. If you're marketing somebody who's vegan and you're sending them free coupons for a double cheeseburger, you ain't gonna get anywhere. you market a vegetarian a buy two get two free Big Mac, you're gonna do so well sending that out to thousands of people. All right. So crypto is very interesting in that manner because it's been around a long time, but where the rest of the world is right now is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana for the most part. Everywhere else, there is hurdles and obstacles to bridge to get this place, that place. Everybody that I've onboarded into PulseChain, I've done it all for them. Like my closest family. Like, hey, let me control your wallets and I'll bridge it over. I'll buy the tokens. I'll trade. When you need money, I'll do trades. I've done all that. It's very difficult just to teach them how to safely use cryptocurrency. How to use a ledger. MetaMask. They learned MetaMask, and then now I had to teach them Rabby, but they learned MetaMask, so now Rabby. Now they have that down. So there's a learning curve, right? But we want to go up there and take a look at the data so far that we've seen, all right? Because Richard Hart, if you go to his Twitter, he's getting a lot of heat for this, for the simple fact that people think that these cheap devices are not going to bring green candles, that it's, a cheap way of going about things, not good, waste of money. And then there's people who think that it's really going to work and they're going to convert. So yeah, you can convert, but it depends, right? 400,000 people is not a lot. It's not a little. But it depends on who gets it, right? You get my brother-in-law, my grandma, and some of my family members, they're going to look at that thing and go, what? And give it to their kid, because they don't understand you can draw on it. But in crypto, I want to use a perfect example because I am a hardcore UFC fan. Every weekend that there's a pay-per-view, whether it's boxing or UFC, I'm buying it. I've been this way for years. And now my son's coming around because he's been doing MMA for so long. He's like super hardcore into UFC and combat sports. So I've been to a lot of bars, parties, family get-togethers, and not one time has one of the biggest deals that signed with UFC ever has been like mentioned or even like a conversation brought up. And I want to bring this up because the UFC and Vchain made this deal, right? And I want you to understand that the UFC, right, they made this 5-year deal with Vchain. It's a $100 million global marketing partnership that they announced back in June of 2022. All right, so they're about 3 years now in this partnership. In this partnership, from the UFC is they make money because they're showing the Vchain. Vchain is a cryptocurrency, right? It's a layer 1 blockchain. So this partnership with a $100 million deal was meant to bring users to Vchain, obviously. Was it worth the $100 million? I would say no. Because in crypto, out of everybody I talk to, no one's talking about Vchain. It's not even brought up. Vchain, I have never even gone on there and buy it. And I am deep in the trenches of cryptocurrency. So as much as I watch UFC and see Vchain nonstop and crypto.com logo on every UFC fighters, all their gear that they wear, I've never used crypto.com once, and I've never even bothered to go and buy me some Vchain. No, never. It never sat with me like, oh man, like Vchain, I'm into crypto, let me go buy it. So I look at that as the prime example of the audience of people that are watching it. Just men and women and hardcore fans of combat sports. And even someone like me that's involved with that and deep into crypto, it wasn't a way to draw me in. Now, I'm intrigued and looking at it at this point because, I'm looking into the partnerships. I'm like, now that I have this Richard Hart campaign going on, I want to look at the data that's out there and go, is this possible? Because obviously, this investment made by Richard Hart or whoever made it for 400,000 of these devices to go out isn't $100 million deal that airs on pay-per-view and ESPN on a weekly basis to millions of viewers. Okay. So let's go take a look at the Vchain just really quick here. And I just would imagine anybody who's like me or you would say Vchain is not talked about. No one ever says, bro, you better buy that Vchain. When's the last time you heard anybody talking about Vchain that's any type of influencer or trending on Twitter? No one. And they got $100 million deal with the UFC. They get branded advertisement every single pay-per-view event. Big events, small events, minor events, nationwide, Vegas, you name it. They travel a lot, the UFC. No one that I know talks about it. And what is it ranked? Number 49 in all of crypto, 2 cents. All right. I know this is as far as I've gone so far. Now I'm going to the website, and then you can come here on the website. I took a look at this a little bit earlier, and they talk about, you'll see it pop up here. Dana White is the new Vchain advisor. President of the UFC brings enterprise to accelerate blockchain's real-world impact. Whatever they say, Vchain Thor blockchain, the layer 1 for sustainability. Not in my world. All right, in my world, it's ETH, Binance Smart Chain. We saw Phantom, that died. Now there's Sonic. Sonic's kind of not having too much success, but it's a bear market. PulseChain has been, you know the story. It's been rough, right? So the top dogs have been Ethereum and Solana, hands down. And that's a $100 million 5-year deal with constant exposure to people. And the UFC is just not stagnant. It's growing and growing and growing its users. And in today's world, in my world, and maybe yours too, we don't hear much about it. No one that I've ever watched the UFC with is like, hey, I need to buy a Vchain. They know about Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then because of me, they know about PulseChain. So that leads me to believe that the $100 million spent, yeah, was it spent? Is that a little bit? I don't think it's going to work. All right. I don't think that's your target audience. Now, if you were to have like done some major sponsor, like maybe some major like deal with Blizzard, like some World of Warcraft, some more like tech savvy people, maybe you would have done better. Probably much better than the UFC, right? Crypto.com has a deal with them too as well. And I just think it's hilarious because none of this stuff works. None of it has worked. And with Crypto.com, right, they did a what they call a official fight kit partner, which is worth, it was $175 million 10-year deal that started in 2021, right? So that's a 10-year deal versus a 5-year deal for $100 million with Vchain. So Crypto.com got the better deal. 10 years for $175 million, you know, versus 5 years for $100 million for Vchain. Vchain got effed on that deal, like big time. But anyways, main point is it didn't work. Now I'm going to PulseChain. Is this going to bring people? Is this going to target the right audience? There's rumors that it's going out to the people whose data got leaked from Ledger, right? Their addresses and emails and all that got leaked. That it's going to the mass majority of those people. People have used Ledger. I don't know. That's a rumor, right? In my honest opinion, if I'm comparing it to $100 million contracts with a 5-year deal with Vchain, $175 million Crypto.com deal, 10-year deal with Crypto.com with UFC, and all those hundreds of millions of dollars not really showing for like the money that's been spent, in my honest opinion. Like they're not even like nearly in competition with Solana. Like you don't see Solana all over UFC, Matt, right? You don't see any of that stuff in many sports or anything like that. So I don't think any of that money being spent really mattered. It wasn't spent in the right place. That's my honest opinion. And for me with marketing, I remember the best marketing stunt I ever did in sales was when the selfies first came out. People were starting to take pictures of themselves. The word selfie was trending, and selfie sticks came out. And I was like, you know what? The way we're going to draw customers, we used to send samples. We used to send samples of walker boots to podiatrists, and we would want them to buy. And what we did was like, let's send them their walker boot sample, which they would refuse to try, and it was the best on the market. Let's send them a selfie stick for free. It was like a cheap device we bought from a cheap stick we would buy from China. I think we paid 10 cents a pop. We bought them in bulk. Put them in every sample. Put a little letter in there saying, take a selfie with, you know, your friends at the office in your walker boot, and we want to see them. That one tactic turned our sales up like 50% because selfie sticks were like the thing. There's, oh my God, a selfie stick. It makes it so much easier. And like doctors started ordering not only our walker boots, but all of our products from like lower extremity to higher extremity. You know, I sold all kinds of stuff. And I thought it was funny because I was like, we caught a trend, right? It was by luck. But they were fun. Now, this particular device, the 400,000 electronic LCD tablets that were donated, right? Volunteers, this and that. It's a kid-friendly device. So I would receive this. I would see it. See, it's not something that I'm interested in, but I have, 5 kids. I'd give it to, my daughter or my son. And they would draw on it. They would probably break it because they break everything. And that would be the end of it. I'd throw it away. I get a lot of free stuff in the mail. I get a lot of junk mail. It's surprising to me that I get so much junk mail like I do. But really, and now that I don't drink, the only time anything really stands out, you ever get those letters? They're like open now, important. You're like, whoa, what's going on? Like, is this a letter from like, the IRS or something like that? Important? Like, did I miss a bill on something? And it's like, you've been pre-qualified. You're like, you throw it away, right? And then you get this junk mail and all these things. The only time I ever really care is when it's like a really good free bargain for me to take my kids out to like McDonald's or Carl's Jr. And I'm like, all right, let's set that to the side. Trash. But a device like this, I don't know. I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody who doesn't know what crypto is. Even if they were interested, how does one go and say, okay, how do I even get an account and make my way to PulseChain? We just got Liberty Swap, which is like a one-way ticket to PulseChain. It's not really so much as leaving PulseChain to all the other chains. It's now we can come from Solana, and that's a big learning curve. So I just really feel like it's a coin toss, right? It doesn't hurt, right? It doesn't hurt, but it's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt. 400. Let's read his tweet. 400,000 electronic LCD tablets have been donated to charity. Volunteers are currently addressing them for home delivery. This is the largest free device giveaway with such powerful features I've ever heard of. It's made to be looked at for years. Is unlikely to be thrown away. Saves trees and money. Works in the sun. Is always on. Only uses electricity to clear. You can even write with your fingernail. If you lose the pen, it's a utility for free. Go paperless. Save the trees. Battery lasts for years. No charging. Colorful screen. Looks great. Sunlight or shade. Always on screen and writing. Erase button and erase lock switch. Light and durable. Yeah, that's great. It's all free. Looks cool. But is it going to be like somebody... Is the big wad's going to come out? Is the big money going to be like, I got this free Scribble Scrabble device. How do I get this hex? Is it going to do that? Am I going to... Is people... How many people out of the 400,000 that receive it are going to just stop what I'm doing and research and take the time? Or will they set it down and forget it? Or will they walk in the house, go to hex.com, and be smart enough and savvy enough to make their way to PulseChain? That's the hard part. That's where I don't know. I can't connect the dots. I will say it's better than nothing, but I can only be hopeful. But if I'm being 100% honest, I think it's always cool to get something for free. It's always cool to get something for free, right? But after this long and the chain being down and the market the way it is, and in comparison to the Vchain 100 million five-year deal, and how many more viewers that got, and how much money that was spent, how it brought nothing to Vchain. 400,000 of these units sent out to people at random. I don't got much faith in it, but hey, you got to work with what you got. And for me, it's like me and any influencer that talks about PulseChain collectively, consistently, will bring more adoption than these potentially, and will continue to. So Richard Hart's I don't know. I never saw his Mensa test. I don't know if he's got the 135, 143 IQ, whatever. He could be the smartest man alive. But the smartest people in the world got flaws, and marketing is a real hard one. His outrage marketing obviously worked, right? To get eyes and attention, good and bad attention. His marketing to raise $1 billion was on the back of his, basically he streamed so much during the Hex days and battled anyone who challenged Hex and outperformed them in every aspect of a conversation in cryptocurrency. that onboarded a lot of confidence in users. I feel like if Richard Hart really wanted to just go the distance and blow people out of the water and bring new users, just kick start the live stream, bro. You don't have to worry about sending these things out to people. You know, a lot of them are gonna be thankful and think it's cool, but it's such a hard task to get the PulseChain, even for me. And I know how to do it like that. So imagine somebody who just is starting from scratch. There's a distance from your bank account to setting up with the Coinbase, because they're not going to want to use these on-ramps that we have that are available to us to get the PulseChain. They're going to want to go to Coinbase, maybe a crypto.com, you know, whatever it's available in their jurisdiction, or, you know, in the States would be like a crypto.com. They're going to want to go there, set that up. You know, then they're going to understand, okay, I have to buy Ethereum. Well, from there, if they want to utilize PulseChain, they're going to have to use a MetaMask. Not in Rabbit Wallet, it's no longer PulseChain friendly, so they're going to have to use MetaMask, which is pretty old. You know, old tech, in my honest opinion. There's a lot of different steps, a lot of hurdles, a lot of loops to go through. And with all the money spent on Vchain, it didn't help. So this marketing for crypto is very, very tricky. Okay? Very tricky. And with the sentiment, the way PulseChain is right now, this marketing, I think you're only going to get the most positive feedback by the most hardcore, diehard people that will never have anything bad to say about Richard Hart. Never will, never can, not capable of even critiquing him. You don't have to say anything bad, but we'll never critique him. And they are just happy and glad that this is going on. But if I had to be honest, I'd just say it's probably going to not be a good turnout. Now, what could happen is ETH goes up, you know, hits new all-time highs, sentiment changes, and then he injects capital, and then he could say, oh, it worked, right? That's the only way it's going to create the illusion that the 400,000, you could send 5 million of these things out, and it's still going to be difficult with the money spent. Think about the hundreds of millions of dollars that has been spent for Vchain. So it's iffy at best. Aaron B, Shark Stories. What are your current thoughts on the OG Web Chef vault? I sent a decent amount of Pulse to the vault. Should I consider that Pulse a write-off? At this point, it's a write-off until it isn't. I have not talked to OG. I don't remember the last time I've talked to him. It's been a long time on Telegram. I talked to 3D recently, maybe within the past, maybe a few days back. Did a little wellness check on him, like, hey, bro, are you okay? And he was good. And far as I understand, they haven't walked off. A lot of the things they're working on, honestly, it's from the sounds of it, depends on the performance of Pulse. And if they have to fight against the performance of Pulse while it's on a downtrend, it's not going to work in their favor. Would be nice to have some communication on a large scale to the community so everybody knows, like, hey, like, but that I don't think that's happening. I have not been paying attention. I have moved on from putting further money into it until I know, like, hey, this thing's on like Donkey Kong and they're ready to take it to the next level, or are they going to abandon it? But I don't believe that's the case. When I talked to 3D, it was just making sure, hey, you're cool. You know, we had that conversation about the price, and you know, that was it. So if I had reached out to him and he was part of like a big exit scam, I doubt that he would be having conversations with me about, you know, how life's going, you know? So it's not gonna be like, 3D, what's going on? Like, why is the Volt not pumping out? Like, I understand, like they'd said from the very beginning that was something that we're, you know, they're not going to try and fight the price of PulseChain as it goes down. Well, timing's everything. So the moment of truth will be when those green candles come. We'll be like, all right, man, where's that vault? Where's that money? Better than nothing, right? Maybe if Binance lists Pulse, that would be the way normies get in. That's going to be the biggest marketing for PulseChain is of some kind of major listing for any of the altcoins or meme tokens, even Pulse or PulseX, a big exchange listing, then we're like opening the floodgates to adoption, right? That's a big step, which has always been like Richard Hardy said, we don't need them. We don't need them. We don't need them. We don't need them. Hex didn't need them. He was right. Hex didn't need it. An entire chain, I think it does. Could really use it. It would be very, very beneficial. But I don't know. I don't know what Richard thinks anymore. He doesn't stream. He doesn't talk to us. He doesn't communicate like he used to back in the day. So what are we doing here? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm still bullish on PulseChain long term when it comes to these the marketing tactics and all that. I could just wish, but I'm not gonna say, hey, yeah, these tablets or these sketch devices are gonna bring Greek candles and adoption. I highly doubt it. I did my whole explanation. But other than that, what's going on in crypto? It was interesting too. World Liberty Financial launched. And sure enough, I mean, with the market conditions and, you know, politicians are involved with this, obviously. Insiders, obviously, if you didn't learn from Trump meme token, Melania, Liberty Financial, if you're seeing this chart and you're going, I got wrecked. Well, I mean, what did you expect? You know, launches at 25 cents. Takes off to 32, goes down, and not much volume. The last transaction was 22 minutes ago, 2.2 million. What else would you have expected? Now, did a lot of people make money? I don't know. No one that I know. No one that I know. Let's go take a look at the price of Pulse and everything. Looks like Pulse is ready to make some new lows, huh? If I'm being honest with you. What? Peacock up 32? No way, my Peacock's going up. Look at that. I drew this chart. It's almost to the T. That's hilarious. When did I draw that? I think I drew that a couple nights ago. That's my expectations. Peacock's not doing too bad, considering the entire chain and everything has been going down hard. But my message to Richard is get on the live stream, bro. Start slaying all the doubters on live streams. You beat the SEC. You're the only person to ever do it in all of DeFi to not settle and beat them in court. You might have this Interpol thing going on. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's more serious than I think or anyone else thinks, meaning he's on the run from them for tax evasion. Maybe that's why he's not streaming. He made one video. We got a taste of that. Maybe one's enough. I don't know. But the best marketing that he ever did was go on camera during the good old days during Hex and say, you, and you. I'll take you out one by one or all at once. It was like watching Bruce Lee in the middle of a fight and he's standing there and he takes out 4 or 5 guys. Just bam, 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 bam. We used to watch him slay people. Richard Hart's streams is where people came. Your heroes came to die. Tone Vase, whoever it may be, all the big names. Peter Schiff, he would do it live on camera because he's smart. His intellect, his ability to articulate and explain blockchain is beyond any of those people's imaginations that have ever taken him on. He has forgotten more about crypto than they'll ever know in their lifetime. And that was the biggest onboarding marketing campaign he's ever done. It would work like a charm again, especially for PulseChain, because how stupid do you think he'd make most of you feel out there that are feeling bearish, that are selling? He would go on stream and laugh at you and tell you how stupid you are. And you would go, oh my God, Richard just said I'm stupid. I need to buy more. That's what would happen. It'd make you feel dumb for selling. It'd make you feel stupid, like you don't know anything about crypto in comparison to everything that he says. And you'd buy more. And every chance you got, you would buy more. And you would cling on to that. And say, this guy's taking me to the promised lands, like a leader, just like the founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskins. Dude's annoying, but he's leading the way. You got LP Army over there on Solana, the LP Army guys that are showing you how to do the DMM LP liquidity providing and earn fees and passive income that's crazy on Solana. Every day doing streams nonstop, right? I mean, hey, it was his best thing that he was good at, was kicking on that camera and whooping that ass. He'd just go on there and just slay whoever it was. It would take 4v1 just to have a chance. Just to have a chance. And they would all just go down together. So that's what I hope to see. If he does that on top of the tablets, then cool. But if it's just like if it's, you guys know what it is. You guys aren't dumb. You guys know what it is. I mean, I don't know who's super excited about it. I mean, I'm super excited that I get to continue to buy the dips. Now, if you're looking at how everything is, we're looking more pushing this out to 2026 for core tokens. What are we in September? So yeah, we're looking deep into this now. Like, I don't know how far into 2026, but we've extended our welcome of the lows that could keep going lower. So unfortunately, more torture, more pain. And then after the PDI incident with Better Bank, we've seen PDI lose some momentum but recover. But I mean, hey, what could you really say bad about PDI? Look at this chart. Look at the damn chart. Ain't that something? So nice. So nice. It's nice to see something that's like truly not wrecked, right? From the beginning to where it's at. Like truly not wrecked. You had the opportunities to get in a long time ago. Long time ago. I would just have to say that in conclusion to everything that's happening right now on PulseChain, I'm glad my Peacock bad's pumping. I'm getting better with this chart stuff. But in conclusion, I wanted to use the Vchain as a prime example of, those hundreds of millions of dollars spent with the UFC didn't target the right audience. These LCD devices going out to 400,000 people. I don't know the users or the type of people it's going to hit. It could be all sorts, computer savvy, don't have a computer, don't even barely use their smartphone. We don't know, but we'll see. Let's just wish for the best. But honestly, it's time for people to say, Richard, just start streaming. And if you're not going to stream, maybe just say why. Like, hey, bro, I can't. I'm on the run. Tax evasion. Okay, it is what it is. Then we can swallow that pill and be like, okay, hide out, bro. Don't get caught by them. Because I wonder why it hasn't been resolved. He doesn't strike me as a guy that's be like, oh, I owe. It's like hundreds of millions of dollars that they say he owes. He doesn't strike me as that person that's going to be like, oh, I owe you hundreds of millions of dollars. Let's go ahead and get this out the way. He strikes me as a person that's just like, no. That's kind of like John McAfee, right? Maybe he feels like he doesn't need to pay that. Maybe he has paid enough. He doesn't feel he needs to pay more. Maybe he hasn't paid any at all. I don't know. That's the only thing I speculate that could be holding him back from live streaming, which would be the ultimate marketing campaign to watch him stream, even if it was once a month. But imagine him every Friday or once a week streaming, saying, hey, send your heroes here to die, and debating people. It'd be on like Donkey Kong, It'd be great. But why is Peacock pumping? Let's go look at their Twitter. Let me go pull up their Twitter real quick. and which is Liberty Swap, Peacock, right? Let me pull that up real quick. If they announce anything that's causing this pump, 43 minutes ago. If you look closely at the historical moment, there's no way to be bearish on Peacock. Oh, man. Please, Etch to Sketch tablets, save me. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Is that what it says? Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Richard needs to come out with better and new topics, not just talk about same old things over and over. Yeah, we all miss them though, huh? That's what I'll say. I don't see any announcements. Just all of a sudden, it hit it a day before I suspected it would hit it. So I would imagine to come here. Let's see, 0. Damn. Look at that. Insane. Insane. So I was right about that tweet. I was right about it. When I said it, it hit the target. I think it went below. I did that spot on. And people were like really annoyed by me for saying it. Like, how dare you say it's going to dip? I was like, well, there's a big wick that's hidden there, bro. Like, I think you're going to get ultra wrecked right now if you don't sell your bags at the top. Let me pull up the tweet. I pointed this out recently on August the 23rd. And I really got under people's skin when it came to DevC. Watch. Let's see how it's doing. Yeah, it went a little bit lower than my target, and then it bounced and went up. So my target was here. I posted this on DevC on August 23rd. And then we go take a look at the charts. Went wick below that. Now it's up. That was my entry target for that one. See some random meme tokens. I ain't gonna be buying no more memes. Pump tires to me right now is played out. You know, I'm gonna choose the ones. You know, oh my gosh. People are saying these dudes like straight up scammed TFC, the Fitzgerald company. Like, whoa, like these dudes went on camera and everything with like known YouTubers and all that, and you know, well-respected people out there. So that's why I was like, hey, man, I'm bullish on this too. Like, these guys are super cool. I don't know what happened. Can't trust anybody in this space. You won't see me launching a token, you know, because I don't even trust myself, man. If I had a token that went up 1,000x, how in the hell would I not want to sell any of it? How would I convince myself, like, because everyone else is. So like, it's just like, well, who's the rapper who says about being in the room full of hoes, right? How are you supposed to be faithful in a room full of hoes? Like, come on. The money's even worse, bro. I'm not making my own token. You guys say $80 million market cap and I own a large supply. You get the devil on your shoulder and he's just like, clip it. And then you need money because PulseChain's down. Like, no. I don't trust myself. So like, maybe that's where I look at that. Like, maybe dude was just like, this ain't working out. Got some pretty big bills I can cover and live off this for a long time. Click. You know, money's power. Money's evil. Money's a lot of things. Money can change your life. Money can ruin your life. Money can do good, do bad. So, I mean, hell, man, I am not going to launch a token and then damn near hits $100 million market cap and I have a ton of it. Hell no, bro. Like, and I'm trying to be straight up honest with people about a lot of stuff, but I'll be straight up honest with you. I can't trust myself. You couldn't trust me with a token like that. So many people are like, you should launch a token. No, bro. Because if it goes up like crazy, I want to sell it because I want money. You know, I got a lot of stuff I can do with that. I got 5 kids. Hell no. I'm not going to make a token. End up like this fool from TFC and getting all that blame. I don't know if he really did all that stuff they're talking about. But hell, I don't want to be in that situation either. Nope. I'm just an investor just like everybody else. I buy to make money, buy the dips, buy tops, buy bottoms, do it all. Make money, lose money, you name it. I've done it all. But let's just say, before we end this stream, to those 400,000 people that receive that free product, hopefully you're smart enough to get that money and buy my bags. Please get your money and bridge over and buy my bags. Don't forget to pound the like button, drop a comment. Till next time, we'll do it again. Yeah, dog.
I wake up in the morning, telegram in hand, on to our community, the coolest in the land. Cheese cream drops a joke, got me laughing loud. Then I start to scroll down through the daily crowd. Who's the OG prince, lighting up the zone? Is it Dama Beast or Sav on the throne? Or maybe it's Friday, Flexmas is here. Time to throw some gains and flex without fear. I toss out some questions, looking for the signs. And side fix is ready, dropping out for lines. I keep on reading, can't look away. Those spicy emojis make my whole day. Then someone yells exit, get off PulseChain, but I ride the waves through pleasure and pain. I live in a limbo of hope and despair, but we're all in this boat and I'm proud to be there. Yeah, I might end up wrecked, burned by the flame, but I'm with the best crew in this wild DeFi game. I might end up wrecked, burned by the flame, but I'm with the best crew in this wild DeFi